Hi guys, JT here, and today I'm bringing you some information on 10 games in Fanatical's Arcane bundle of May 2026. To help you answer the question, should you buy it? By using the links in the description below, you'll gain access to this bundle and support the channel in the process. Before I begin, I'd like to thank you the viewers for watching my videos. I hope they're helpful. Most importantly, knowing that you're watching it means the world. Anyway, let's get into this. At number 1 we have Spellcaster University, a magical school management simulator that incorporates roguelike elements and card-based mechanics to create a unique, albeit crowded, gameplay experience. You take on the role of a headmaster, tasked with building an academy to train wizards against an encroaching threat from a demon lord. As the clock ticks down, you must manage your school's growth by playing cards that represent rooms, students, and various artifacts. These cards are organized into 6 distinct decks, requiring you to spend specific points earned through student activities to expand your facilities. The challenge lies in positioning rooms strategically and balancing your relationships with local factions, such as adventurers or orcs, to gain beneficial buffs. Each area you inhabit serves as a run. When the demon lord eventually arrives, your school is destroyed, and you must start anew in a different region. While you carry over certain bonuses based on your performance, the game frequently forces you to prioritize specific graduation goals that can restrict your creative freedom. You'll find that while the core management loop is engaging, the frequent repetitive events and the rising cost of card packs can lead to moments where progression feels stagnant. The intersection of 3 different genres, management, deck building, and roguelike, offers a lot of variety, but they occasionally clash, making the grind feel more prominent than the magic. This game provides a charming premise for those who enjoy organizing complex systems, even if the execution sometimes hampers the fun with its mechanical density and repetitive cycle. At number 2 we have Somber Echoes, a striking 2D Metroidvania that fuses Greco-Roman mythology with eerie sci-fi to deliver a haunting, atmospheric journey through the derelict vessel Atromitos. You play as Adrestia, a divine warrior resurrected to stop her twin sister Harmonia from unraveling the universe. To do so, you'll explore vast, uniquely designed biomes, uncover secrets, and master the Ether Lantern, a traversal ability that lets you launch through the air in any direction and chain mid-air dashes with satisfying freedom. Combat is focused on aerial agility, parries, and a deadly spear, which is both fun and occasionally frustrating due to inconsistent hitboxes and input delays. The enemy variety is limited, and some late-game bosses rely too heavily on traps and randomness, leading to difficulty spikes that feel more unfair than earned. Still, the moment-to-moment gameplay, especially in the first 3 quarters, is a joy, with smooth progression, clever puzzles, and well-paced upgrades. Visually, Somber Echoes excels. Every screen is drenched in ornate detail, blending ruins and advanced tech into an unforgettable setting. The game's narration, music, and overall art direction elevate the experience with theatrical flair, giving it the feeling of a lost tragedy performed in space. However, the fast travel system is needlessly convoluted and drags down the late game, which also suffers from excessive backtracking and frustrating traversal sequences. Still, if you're drawn to games with rich atmosphere, ambitious world building, and tight platforming, this is a memorable adventure worth your time, especially if picked up in a bundle. At number 3 we have Rungore, a chaotic real-time card battler that shatters the traditional rules of the genre. If you've ever felt stifled by turn-based restrictions or finite mana pools, this game is your remedy. Heavily inspired by titles like Slay the Spire and Loop Hero, it blends deck-building strategy with intense simultaneous action where you and your enemies act at the same time. In this frantic journey, timing is everything. You can play hundreds of cards in a single encounter, rushing through enemies with a random pile of expendable cards. The game features 15 levels, an impressive roster of 13 unique heroes, including the barely alive guy who ignores deck restrictions entirely. With over 350 cards and 120 artifacts, every run feels unique, fueled by a psychopathic tutorial guide and hidden memes tucked away in every corner. The recent 1.1 update introduces a long-awaited cooperative mode, allowing you to bring up to 3 friends into the fray. You can explore locations like the jungle or swamp together, though the experience is famously buggy and ping dependent. For those seeking an ultimate challenge, New Game Plus awaits true chats. Visually, the game offers pleasant pixel graphics and a retro-inspired interface that feels modern and snappy. While the high degree of randomness and speed might overwhelm those looking for a slow, technical experience, it is a perfect match if you want addictive, high-energy runs. Whether playing solo or in the absolute chaos of co-op, it is a dynamic, meme-filled riot. At number 4 we have Hand of Doom, an old-school first-person RPG and dungeon crawler that transports you back into a lo-fi dark fantasy world where you serve as a minion to a sinister dark overlord. Tasked with gathering powerful magic to crush your master's enemies, you navigate a bleak landscape filled with pixelated horrors and obscure puzzles. The game is a deliberate homage to 90s dungeon crawlers, featuring a retro user interface where the world is viewed through a central window flanked by lore and inventory. You must master a unique spellcasting system that requires selecting specific incantations to chant. A single mistake in your ritual means the spell fails or produces unintended results. Combat is functional, serving primarily to remove obstacles as you explore, while the movement system demands tactical positioning since you must face enemies directly to interact with them. You'll find that the experience is defined by its aesthetic choices, utilizing scratchy audio, cheesy FMV sequences, and low-resolution portraits that capture the spirit of early PC gaming. While the story is relatively simple and the dialogue is intentionally campy, the inclusion of modern conveniences like an automap and a reference tome prevents the gameplay from becoming overly tedious. To truly enjoy this adventure, you must embrace the clunky, dated mechanics and appreciate the stylistic limitations of the era it replicates. It is a challenging, nostalgic journey designed specifically for those who missed the era of grid-based exploration and experimental magic systems, offering a refreshing, if polarizing blast from the gaming past. At number 5 we have Stirring Abyss, a turn-based tactical RPG that plunges you into a Cold War-era nightmare beneath the ocean waves. Following the mysterious sinking of the USS Salem, you lead a stranded expeditionary crew through the crushing depths to uncover the truth behind the vessel's demise. The gameplay blends squad management with atmospheric exploration, heavily inspired by Lovecraftian horror and the classic tactical tension of titles like XCOM: Terror from the Deep. As you navigate the pitch-black seafloor, you must manage your crew's oxygen and sanity while fending off mutated sea life and eldritch horrors. Combat is deliberate and restrictive. Because the divers wear heavy suits, you cannot sprint or use cover. Instead, you rely on knives, spear guns, and eventually dark supernatural mutations to survive. Between missions, you return to the flooded USS Salem. Here, you allocate scavenged resources to pump out water, restoring vital facilities like medical bays and research stations. Every moment spent resting, however, allows a corrupting influence to spread further through the abyss. While the 2D isometric perspective can sometimes obscure enemies behind environmental debris, the game's strength lies in its escalating dread and haunting audio design. The voice acting and creepy score effectively heighten the sense of isolation. If you enjoy challenging strategy games that emphasize resource management and atmospheric storytelling, Stirring Abyss offers a unique, murky world to explore. You'll find a compelling marriage of technical depth and cosmic horror that demands careful planning to see the surface again. At number 6 we have Witchy Business, a cozy hand-drawn shop simulator where you manage your very own witchcraft store. This charming job simulator perfectly blends potion brewing chaos with the comfort of a small business setting, offering a casual and genuinely captivating experience right from the start. Your day is split between your bustling shop and your peaceful sanctuary garden. In the shop, the magic meets mayhem as you quickly take customer orders, sell handmade potions, wands, and artifacts, and even hex thieves into frogs with a quick click. You must be quick, as customer patience wears thin and unhappy familiars, like Lucifer, demand attention. Meanwhile, the sanctuary is where you chill out, harvest herbs, explore for oddities, and meditate to earn bonuses, balancing action with comfort. The potion crafting is a highlight. You can follow numerous recipes or experiment freely, playing minigames as you combine plants, minerals, and oddities in the correct order to brew the perfect batch. The game offers tons of customization and upgrades for your shop, and the world subtly changes based on your reputation, ensuring no 2 weeks are exactly the same. You can choose to play in the relaxed mode for a chill vibe, or mayhem mode for more intense coin earning. The game is praised for its gorgeous, cohesive art style, calming music, and the satisfying stress-free routine of gentle magic. However, some players find the core loop quickly becomes repetitive, noting the lack of a deeper story or visual novel elements with the Coven of Witches. Despite the minor grind, this is a beautiful and addictive simulator for fans of cozy, casual witchy games. At number 7 we have Luck and Loot, a dice-based dungeon-crawling roguelite where you navigate the treacherous Dark Keep to defeat a final boss. You begin by choosing between a warrior, ranger, or wizard, engaging in turn-based combat where enemies roll first, allowing you to strategize your response. Your effectiveness depends on dice skills for attacking, healing, or defending. If you dislike your roll, you can reroll twice, though your character's unique ultimate skill remains consistently available on a cooldown. The gameplay balances simple mechanics with deep complexity as you customize dice and manage limited capacity for stronger skills. Visually, the game adopts an 8-bit aesthetic reminiscent of Atari titles on CRT televisions. You can customize this experience with monochrome filters or dyslexia-friendly fonts. Between battles, you encounter merchants and risky events like obelisk challenges. You might even acquire permanent curses that trigger every time you roll. Playing safely is discouraged by a fatigue system that penalizes long battles. Failure is part of the journey. You earn points to level up stats and unlock better skills for future attempts. Once you conquer a run, the Ascension system introduces brutal modifiers like the Broke AF status to increase the challenge. While the content depth might feel slightly light for the genre, the satisfying loop of building dice and pressing your luck makes it a punchy adventure. You'll find yourself constantly returning for one more roll, lured by the high-stakes gamble of every encounter. Even when bad luck strikes, you simply want to adjust your strategy and go again. At number 8 we have Dice with Death, a roguelike dice rolling game that challenges you to outwit a bored, personified version of death and a high-stakes duel for survival. Drawing heavy inspiration from the push-your-luck mechanics of Balatro, the experience blends the traditional rules of Farkle with the scoring systems of poker. You begin each run by selecting a character, each with unique strategic approaches, and a starting relic. As the game progresses, you roll 6 dice to form hands, deciding which to keep and which to reroll. You must remain cautious, however, because failing to form a valid hand results in a fumble, requiring you to lose your turn. Success relies on your ability to synergize relics and specialized dice to stack effects like poison, healing, or armor. The core tension lies in deciding when to pass and bank your damage, or when to risk another roll for a massive score. Death is a formidable opponent who scales in health, utilizes lucky dice, and eventually steals your own dice to use against you. While the loop can feel repetitive and luck-dependent, the retro 8-bit aesthetic and mysterious orchestral soundtrack effectively heighten the drama of every roll. Between runs, you spend earned obols and a shop to unlock new characters and an endless mode, though prices are somewhat steep. You'll find it incredibly satisfying to construct a build powerful enough to take down an entity with over 1,000 health. It is a tense, rewarding experience for anyone who enjoys calculated risks and deep mechanical variety. At number 9 we have Bella Wants Blood, a bite-sized roguelike tower defense game that tasks you with entertaining a godlike entity by feeding it blood. You navigate a hand-drawn macabre world, using a high-contrast red, black, and white palette to build winding paths for grotesque minions. Unlike traditional entries in the genre, you actively shape the battlefield by laying down gutters to determine enemy routes, strategically placing terrors and monstrosities to harvest them before they reach the end of your maze. The core experience is designed for short sessions, offering approximately 2 to 4 hours of gameplay, though a roguelike progression system featuring 52 unlockable items and various mementos encourages repeated runs. You must make tactical choices on a branching map, deciding whether to seek out new defensive tools or powerful upgrades to survive the escalating waves. Reviews highlight the game as a polished hidden gem that prioritizes thoughtful preparation and spatial problem solving over real-time mechanical skill. While the scope is relatively compact, the low price point in the bundle and flawless performance on the Steam Deck make it an attractive option if you enjoy strategic planning with an unsettling stylized tone. This game succeeds by blending the addictive nature of a roguelike with a fresh, inventive approach to path building, providing a satisfyingly grim experience that delivers quality over quantity, while ensuring every decision carries weight during your run. At number 10 we have Ambidextro, a retro-inspired puzzle game that functions as a multiplayer experience for a single player, forcing you to control two halves of a split wizard simultaneously. The narrative setup involves a witch kidnapping a prince and princess, requiring you to rescue both royals at once by navigating mirrored or distinct paths within a strict time limit. Visually, the title celebrates an aesthetic reminiscent of the Commodore Amiga or Spectrum 128K+, offering a charmingly simple presentation that belies its mechanical complexity. You'll find that the controls are highly responsive, whether you're using a keyboard or a gamepad, though the dual character movement demands significant mental coordination. As you progress, the game introduces clever twists that prevent you from simply mirroring your inputs, constantly testing your patience and reflexes. The difficulty curve is steep enough to be rage-inducing at times, yet the satisfaction of beating a level by a fraction of a second makes every success feel earned. While the story remains a secondary element that serves mainly as a backdrop for the action, the core gameplay loop of just one more try is incredibly addictive. You might find yourself grinding your teeth in frustration during the later, more chaotic stages, but the sense of earned accomplishment is undeniable. It is a focused, polished piece of indie design that prioritizes pure mechanical skill and cognitive dexterity over modern cinematic flair. For those who enjoy a stern challenge, this game offers a unique, brain-bending experience that successfully bridges the gap between classic retro platformers and modern puzzle insanity. And that's all for this bundle. If you're looking to level up your Steam library without nuking your wallet, the Build Your Own Arcane bundle is a certified banger. For just $7.49, you get snag 3 gems like Spellcaster University or the overwhelmingly positive Ambidextro. Whether you're into tactical RPGs, roguelikes, or cozy job sims, the value here is insane. It's a total loot drop for TBS fans. Don't sleep on this deal, grab your squad of games, and start the grind. In any case, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and if this video was helpful, feel free to leave a like and subscribe, and maybe consider buying the channel a coffee. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.